Well, we're using the performance capture process, which is what Image Movers Digital does exclusively for the Disney company. And what that is that's where actors perform characters that are digital characters, but actors do the entire performance. And because it's all 3D, I can then put the camera behind them, in front of them, wherever I want. I can go around them 360 degrees, but the performance is captured from all directions.
Performance capture allows us to blend a tremendous visual style that we couldn't do in live action with our classic storytelling and character.
With performance capture, the good news is you can do anything. The bad news is you have to do everything.
Everything we do in making movies like this takes a ton of computing power.
I think the key thing within the technology is really enabling Bob Zemeckis' creative vision. That's the key to IMD. When you look at his history of filmmaking and what he's done over time, seeing that move forward is probably the most exciting part of the business. Technology should always enable the creative process, not be an inhibitor in any way. We have a long relationship with HP. Their technology strategy as well as their trajectory meets the needs of production and it's been very effective. So that certainly fits into IMD in terms of their philosophy. They're always going to be pushing the envelope in terms of those images and the ability to create them rapidly and always be pushing those boundaries. HP understands this and has always worked very closely with us to meet those needs and has effectively done that historically over time.
We've got a studio here that's set up our whole layout team and editorial team. So as we're capturing data, we're tracking it, we're processing it, solving it.
You're looking at 104 megapixel, 120 frame per second cameras with little computers built into them that turn that into something that can drive the animation. Mission control is where all the data gets piped into while we're shooting, both in 2D and in 3D.
So the operators that are capturing this information can actually see what these cameras are seeing on each actor's face.
We're always on the cutting edge technologically. HP has put a lot of effort into energy consumption. The result is something that consumes less energy, but provides us far, far more computing power.
Mission control's got about 45 people in it, 80 computer monitors, 100 computers.
We're able to take the performance that we capture with the sensors of the actor. We wrap the digital skeleton, the digital skin, and the digital wardrobe on this performance.
This is a new way of making movies.
We took over two 1930-era Army Air Corps hangars, and we basically designed and constructed a state-of-the-art film studio for Disney's Image Movers Digital. No studio can survive without a data center. You don't have a data center, you don't work, so it's critically important. Designing the data center was extremely rewarding. HP worked with us to say, okay, how much processing power do you think you're going to need? And based on that, you come up with how many square feet you need, how many power distribution units, how many computer air conditioning units you need, and the whole design puzzle. We partnered with HP early on, and they've been instrumental in helping us get where we are today.
One of the design criteria of our data center is to be able to be very high density in terms of compute. The HP dual density blades have been a really key part of our component for that in order to put a large amount of processing power in a very small footprint. The demands are ever increasing. The demands are very dynamic on occasion. So the ability to introduce more computing power, scale that all the way across the board in terms of the system's infrastructure, and maintain that high level of connectivity and interactivity with the artist and their HP workstations is very important. On the floor, for the end users, we have upwards of 600 to 700 HP workstations. Every person involved in the production, both creative and technical, works on one or more HP workstations.
It's very important for interactive work that you have as powerful a workstation as possible. The artistic iterative cycle of being able to see feedback quickly is one of the most fundamental things to getting work done quickly. So a typical compositing artist uses his workstation to produce dailies, which are image sequences that they will then show to the supervisors and the director. What's most important is artists are able to see a change very quickly and get immediate feedback. We found the Dreamcolor display had the highest quality calibration system that we could find at the time and allowed us to tune the monitor's look to match our projection systems, which is extremely important. The Dreamcolor display allows us to really focus on the creative process rather than having to focus on the technical issues of getting that color to display correctly. So when they finish a composite, an image sequence, and they're able to see that in a color accurate way. Then they go from their workstation into a dailies room where they're able to see that on a digital projection system. And so they get to see it large and they get to see it much brighter. And so they have very fast feedback. This happens on a daily basis, perhaps even multiple times a day.
The more that this computing power is advancing, the more that we can actually include more characters, do more particle simulations. We can have millions of particles of snowflakes in a scene at once, whereas in the past we weren't able to do that. So it has a very, very real aesthetic impact on the film when we have computing power that can handle the quality requirements that are put in front of us.
I think the ultimate viewer of the movie is going to be impacted by the HP technology we've used. And the reason I say that is that our ability to put a lot of computing power and a lot of interactivity and have a robust system that is providing all of that power for us to create imagery is ultimately resulting in that we can spend more time on the creative aspects of a film that's visually exciting, visually complex, and engaging, that we're not spending our resources on thinking about how to get a frame rendered or how to get a particular image out. We're focusing on making the right image and the right story.